Alright, so this video is going to go over option sets. So it's going to talk about how to create them and how to assign them to a product on your website. We highly discourage option sets. They're not too difficult to create, however, very difficult to maintain and update. But there are some times where you just need an option set. So first of all, you have to be logged in. You'll know you'll be logged in because you'll see the bar up on top here. And then mouse over store and go down to products, and you're going to see option sets. You can go to all product variations and you can still see, because these are all just shortcuts. But so I created an option set so we can start this, but then I'm going to show you how to create it. So the first time you do it, you won't have anything here, and it will say add an option set. So the first thing I did was create a shock option, and you really want to think your options out, otherwise this can get very long and crazy. And so what kind of options are they? Bumper options? Are they shock options? Are they pricing options? Because you can make a parent that has many different option sets inside. If you start to just randomly put things in without a parent, that's fine, but you might find yourself with 800 option sets, forgetting that you did one because you didn't group them into a certain, what type of option is this. So in here you're going to see that it says shock options, right? And then you're going to see manage fields. And so the fields are where you're creating the options themselves. So within shock options we have shock type. We could also, and I'm going to create it here, have, includes shocks. Now, include shocks is one of the attributes on ASAP data, but it might not be, and this is just a random, right? I pick shocks, I don't know why, but it's just a random idea of this is an option someone has to pick. So you see that the question is shock type, and it's a list text, right? So what does that mean? It means these are the choices, right? And the widget type is a select list, but you can also choose to have it be radio buttons. Radio buttons can get pretty long on a page, and so, but again, sometimes people don't see there's a drop down, so it's your choice on what you want to do. And then you'll see pricing attributes, and you'll come to those and I'll show you. But if you ever need to go back in and change it, the pricing options will tell you, is this an ad, right? So I made it to where if they pick Fox, it adds $150 to the price. If they add ADS, it reduces it by 10, and if they add Monroe, there is no price difference, because sometimes the choice is not a price difference, right? It is just pick one of these so we know. So so when we're back here in field settings, or actually let's go back to manage the fields. So let's add one more so it shows up under shock options. So again, these would be option sets that are related to shocks. So again, you might have bumper options, or you might have lighting options, or you might have whatever, but you want to keep these together so that it is somewhat manageable. So why don't we just say let's just say add shocks, and this probably wouldn't be the same, on the same product. You can have both of them or one of them. And so we're going for a list text. That is the field that you're creating for this. This is a list of choices. So this one we're going to just go ahead and keep it on a select list. So we're going to hit save. And it needs to know the values that they're going to be able to pick from. But what it has to have is something. So I usually just put 1, and the pipe, right? The pipe is the button. If you hit your shift button, it's right above the enter key, right above that backslash. And then the choice is yes, or the choice is No, because we're asking them if we're going to add shocks, right? So let's put that back there and save this. And so on this page, it's asking you, is this required, right? And so if it's required, they can't move forward without answering it. But if it's not required, then you can say move forward. They don't have to answer this at all. But since it's a yes or no question, I'm going to guess that we want to say yes or no, right? This is if it's one value or unlimited values or two values. So maybe you'll have an option that it says pick this and that, or you are allowing them to pick all of them at once. If you do that, you'll want to definitely have that widget type to be the Boolean, the little buttons, and not the drop-down list, because most consumers aren't going to think to hit shift to get those other ones. So I'm going to say number of values here is 1, and I'm going to hit save settings. And now it's asking, is there a price change, right? Is it per item, per order, right? Because maybe the options that you're doing is oil, right? I don't know, something of add oil to this at no cost. So it's either per item or per order. And so we're going to leave that blank right now, and we're going to hit submit. And here we have it. So where do you go to find that? So I've already created it on one of them, but what you're going to do is going to go store, products, right? All product variations, or you can do it from the front if you have one. Now I chose this first one up here because it was the very first one. Of course, it's not relevant to shocks at all, but this is just a demo. So I'm going to hit edit on this, and this is where you're going to add that option set. And so right down here, you're going to see this that says options. And here I've already picked some, right? And this is your list for shock options. Now, once you had bumper options and light options and do you like cat options or whatever you want to have, that list will become bigger. I've already tagged the shock type, and I'm going to show you the advanced settings. So again, it shows me what is actually going to be given to them. So I can manually change this and go, oh, on this part it's only 100, or I can not select all of them and select that they can only have, you know, one of them, that there's not a choice for all of them. So anyway, now we're going to hit the one that says add shocks. I'm going to hit this here, and it's going to bring it up, right? So now their question is yes or no. And we're going to go to the bottom, hit save, and then we're going to go over here, because I had already pulled it up, and now it shows up here, right? And if you'll notice, if I add Fox, it changes that price. And then if I say yes, it doesn't change anything because that wasn't something to change. Is that logical? Now, if you decide that, oh God, no, I don't want that option to be there anymore, then you just click edit, come down, and again, remove that and hit save. And now that's no longer an option for them. Does that make sense? So it's pretty easy to add option sets. It's just not so easy to update them once you've had them. So again, to find option sets, you go up to, you must be logged in, you go up to store, products, and you can do all product variations. That's my default because all of your tabs are up on top. And here, if you just hit option sets, you have the one so far. So this label right here only is for you. It's not for them. What's for them is the field options, shock type, add shocks, right? Send your girlfriend flowers. Do you like chocolate? Whatever you want to ask your people. And if you want to change it from a select list to a bullet, to a boolean, you just do this. Oh, and let me show you what that looks like on this. So I'm gonna, so then it blows it out. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to it just being a drop down. All right, I hope that makes sense, and you know, good luck with the option sets. We dislike them very much. All right, thank you.